We have an exclusive interview you'll only see here on Dayton 24/7 Now News with a Ukrainian man who attended school right here in Ohio. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King has details on what he's currently seen back home. Alex.
Yeah, Vlad Faraponov graduated from Wright State last year, and then he returned to his home in Ukraine, where he now reports for a Kyiv-based Internews. Now, he said that the last week has felt really like a month, but Ukrainians hold out hope. He says people are really scared and don't know what will happen next. He says Ukrainians are showing support and helping each other during this time in need.
People are ready to host anyone. Like, doesn't matter if they know that person, and so on and so forth. And it is, I mean, I really don't have any words for that because, for example, when I see that, like in my hometown or in other cities, I really started to cry because I'm happy and I'm so proud to be Ukrainian, especially right now.
He says he doesn't have any plans to leave the country. It is home, the place where his relatives were born. Vlad says Ukrainians will continue to defend their home, but he hopes Western allies can put enough pressure on Russia to end the war soon and bring peace to his country. Now, we have more from this interview with Vlad on our website, Dayton247now.com. You can just go to our homepage. Stick with us because we're going to talk more about what Ukrainians are dealing with back home. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Okay, so perfect. You guys try to help other parts of the world understand what is going on there in your country. So let's talk about that then. So you are in Ukraine since this Russian invasion started. What has it been like there on the ground over the last 24 hours for you?
Well, I have to say that it seems like it has already been a month. It's just about 5 days, but it looks like actually it's so intense, and actually so many messages are actually coming from all over the country, and I would say people are really scared. People really don't know actually exactly what will go next. But for the last 24 hours, I would say the positive tendency was also noted because the peace talks have started, and it was expected that the peace talks kind of should begin at 6 p.m. yesterday, but they started just I think 2 p.m. today, and I would say the night was actually scary, probably the same as the previous one. So every night is a challenge, I would say. At the daytime it is easier, but at the night it is actually I would say more actually scary to check the news, to check the events, to check the situation on the ground with relatives, to check the security notifications and so on and so forth.
Now, you're in Kyiv, right?
Actually, not. I'm in Western Ukraine.
Okay, I understand that we don't want to disclose your whereabouts just for security reasons. Where you're at, have you seen Russian troops on the ground and their forces in the community that you're at?
Actually, not, and I would say we are lucky. Like in that area is peaceful, but actually for me, it is actually good enough to see the troops on the streets of my hometown and different cities, especially right now. Actually, in Kharkiv, the second largest city in Ukraine. And and I don't see any point in that because they attack actually particularly civilian objects, and the craziest thing about all that is that kids die, that old people die, that absolutely they didn't know actually where to go, and perhaps even don't have any ability to do that, because I would say probably the last I would say month, despite all that stuff, coming from actually the US intelligence and so on and so forth, the vast majority didn't believe that the full scale war actually could really begin. And I remember my feeling at the day when I got a call, and I thought I was sleeping, because really nobody believed really Putin would do that. And but at the same time, as a person interested in politics, let's say, for me it is understandable that the major difference between now and for example 2014 is that look, the Russian TV and the Russian officials, they did not deny that it is Russia. Nobody said it is Ukraine. Nobody said that that is particularly Ukraine started that. And this is crucial, especially for international community and for European audience and for US too.
Now, what are the biggest fears over there right now? As a lot of this is, there's still a lot of uncertainty. I know there's some peace talks happening right now at the Belarusian border. Oh,
I really I didn't hear actually the first part of the question.
Okay, no. Can you hear me now?
Actually, yeah, but okay.
Okay, so if you can hear me, my question is, what are the main concerns from native Ukrainians right now? Is it the instability? Is it the resources being attacked? Is it the family element? I mean, what are the main concerns running through Ukrainians' minds at this moment?
Okay, I would say there are. Okay, I'd say there are a few dimensions. First, I would say probably the number one is the really security situation, because it is I would say a human nature actually to be scared. When you know that the the bomb actually can be thrown and so on and so forth. The security kind of situation in the regions, I would say, in so-called hotspots like in eastern Ukraine, in the south, and so on and so forth. But I would say resources too, because probably it is a disadvantage right now that Ukraine is a large country. It's the largest country in Europe, and not each town, city, or village can actually, expect timely food delivery and so on and so forth. But I would say that probably during the first day, people started to grab actually everything they need, and I would say that in general, people have like some resources to live, but obviously it cannot be it cannot last like for a couple of weeks or a month. But for now, luckily, in many cities, as I know, there are no crucial problems with that, and it is very important because in that panic situation, people need to eat, people need to drink, people need to do all the stuff and so on and so forth. But I would say resources are important too, and obviously money. Obviously money for all of that, because like in some cities the banks are closed, in some cities the pharmacy is closed, and so on and so forth.
Now, obviously, world leaders have been really walking the tightrope and trying to deal with Russia. The sanctions are one thing, but they haven't really fully engaged with the military powers at this point. What do you think world leaders need to do in an effort to preserve Ukraine and prevent Russia from fully taking over the government there?
Okay, well, I think that we need to continue actually with the sanctions, because even if Russia actually says that we're not scared by sanctions and so on and so forth, some Russian oligarchs have already said, Putin, it is time to stop the war. Because they have a different property, in the West and so on and so forth. So I would say, the sanction storage, I would say, should be finished, and it should be finished by excluding Russia from SWIFT, because Ukraine expected that the list of the health sanctions, or as Biden said, especially the mother of all sanctions. We need to finish it, and actually SWIFT should be, I would say, number one. But also we should think about political sanctions, and we need to exclude Russia from the Security Council of the United Nations, and took away their permanent seat, because if that seat is chaired by Russia. Absolutely, no country in Europe should be should be able to say that kind of they are in peace, or they actually do not expect I would say any security. For the United States, it's important to approve their thing that Biden has offered the largest military and economical package to Ukraine. But we need congressmen, to act, and we need them now, or I would say yesterday, or even the day before yesterday. For me, it seems like now the European Union is more active, and probably uses it's time to prove that the EU is not so old-fashioned, bureaucratic, and so on and so forth. But we also rely on the United States in particular, and of course those sanctions are okay. The number of sanctions that were announced toward banks, but I would say we need to do more. And absolutely, we need to start combine economic sanctions and political one. And of course, we also should think about the Russian gas and oil. How to block everything they. We need to block the money that they actually make from export of the gas and oil.
Moving forward, what concerns do you have as this war drags on and takes, I guess, the next steps in this conflict? I mean, obviously, Russia just keeps bringing troops in different forms, but I don't know. It kind of feels like I don't know where exactly this goes,
Yeah. I would say every night is uncertain, every minute is unpredictable, and we need to adapt to this stuff, to this challenge. And I would say the major concern, I would say probably personally or towards the family, is that we don't need to panic, because really when people started to panic, they can do different and actually crazy stuff, and we don't need that. We need to think rationally, even if Russia doesn't think so. I mean, and I would say probably don't spend so much time on thinking like actually where they could go, because all of that stuff is irrational for Russia. It is irrational for the state. It is irrational for the people. It is for the government, for the for the oligarchs, for the elite, if such exists anymore. And for the military, I would say they lost too many people. Today, the Russian propaganda actually, RIA Novosti, they published an article like how easily Russia actually had won in Ukraine. But then they immediately deleted that article because they, it seems that they plan to actually schedule a particular piece to publish, after the quick win, and actually such thing absolutely did not happen. And I don't see any, especially right now, I don't see any point where exactly it could be, because probably the main concern is just Kharkiv and Kherson. Actually, Kharkiv is in the east and Kherson is in the west. I would say probably there are two major concerns because Kherson is close to the occupied Crimea, and we just kind of don't know especially what to expect from that area. But I would say people, even those who actually absolutely were not interested in the army stuff, they are now so proud of the Ukrainian army because they feel secure right now because they are safe actually thanks to them. And the number of donations that people have given to the army, it actually broke all records every day. And despite all of that, people, like I would say in Germany or Belgium or the United States, even right now they make donations and around $1 billion actually per day. I mean, especially for me, it is absolutely clear that all this stuff, it shows that Ukrainians are absolutely pro-European, because even right now people help each other. Like on the gas stations, absolutely no conflicts. People support each other. People help each other with no actually prior even call to each other. Like people are ready to host anyone. Like, doesn't matter if they know that person, and so on and so forth. And it is, I really don't have any words for that, because, for example, when I see that, like in my hometown or in other cities, I really started to cry, because I'm happy and I'm so proud to be Ukrainian, especially right now.